So when the conversation would change, and I didn't use this every time, I used it probably 20% of the time, because 80% of the time in the pre-qualifying process, finding out their motivation and walking into the house and starting your conversation by saying, I know there's certain questions that need to be answered. Can I answer them now? And they would say yes. And I said, the first question, of course, is price. So let's discuss that. And we would discuss that. And then the second question is, how long will it take to sell? And we would talk about the fact that depends upon the price. And then the third question, of course, is, what are you going to do to get it sold? So I would say, I'm sure you're wondering what I'm going to do to get your home sold, correct? And they would smile and look at each other and say yes. Well, here I have a copy of the 18 different steps I take, and it's pretty rare that we ever have to do all 18. And they would often say, well, why? Because if we price it properly, which it appears we're going to do, and if we can get enough exposure on the property through other good qualified agents in town that represent buyers, and with the market being what it is today, it should sell a little bit faster than having to take 18 steps. But I'm going to give you a copy of this so you can then watch me do the work I do. So number one on our plan of action says, submit a copy of this listing to our entire MLS service. Here in Huntington Beach, California, we have a little over 2,000 agents that represent real estate companies. We never know which ones have buyers at their disposal or not, but by submitting a copy of the listing to MLS, all 2,000 agents will get a copy of your listings within a couple days. And one of those agents might have a potential buyer. Let me ask you a question. Would you like me to submit your listing to MLS for this maximum exposure? Well, yeah, we would want that. Is there anything you want me to put on the listing to get their attention so maybe they will react a little bit quicker? Well, I think if you put a real nice description of the home, well, in a minute we'll get a good description of the home, so I'm going to submit it to MLS for you, okay? They would say okay. Number two, it says, price your home competitively versus the competition. Now, we're talking about listing your home for $450,000, which is what I determined the value to be based upon the sales taking place. What price would you like to see take place on your home?